RV lady. Yes, and I've started recording now. Welcome to the RV Women Hangout. What we do is each week we get together and talk about RVing issues as it pertains to women. Men are, of course, allowed to, and I say allowed, but only women are allowed on the panel. And but men are invited to contribute questions and things like that. And what we talk about is RVing and all those things associated with RVing. And for me right now, I am RVing in a spot where I do not get very good cell signal for my phone, nor do I get very good Wi-Fi for my MiFi. And so I have to basically drive away from camp in order to, have the hangout. So I am staying at a place. You can see it as Talis has written down how much gold have I found. We have actually, and when I say we, I mean RVer TV and I are in the process of panning the streams for the streams in Gold Country, California, for gold. And we have found enough gold at this point to put on the head of a straight pin. So not too much. And that would be, on a straight pin, but you couldn't add glue to it because then they'd fall off and be gone forever. So we've had some rain showers here in the area a couple days ago, I guess it was. And so all the rivers and creeks and whatnot are all swollen now, much more water going down. So I look at it as, so we haven't been able to pan, basically. And if you are familiar, over on YouTube, I have a channel over on YouTube. It's called RV Lady. And you can go over and watch me panning for gold if you want. It's definitely not a very attractive thing to do, but I don't care watching you guys panning. Actually, we're having a great time. And it is, it's something that I'm completely unfamiliar with. I don't know where to look, what I'm looking for. You think, oh, yeah, you're looking for gold. Well, yeah, but that being said, the gold that we're finding literally could fit on the head of a straight pin. And so it's not the nuggets, and I'm thinking that I'm going to be pulling up these nuggets, which, believe me, before the end of July, I will find at least one nugget. I'm just determined. That's just it. Or I'm going to win the lottery, one of the two. But I did buy lottery tickets yesterday and I didn't win. So I guess it's the nuggets. Maybe you could also, well, the thing about fishing, all of these creeks and rivers in Gold Country have been being mined for, years and years, decades. And in the mining process, they have used mercury to, okay, I don't really know what they use it for, but they're using mercury. And so that pretty much eliminates fishing. Not that I've seen any fish. I think they used mercury, killed all the fish, and, it's just about getting the gold. It's kind of sad. But, there are ducks and Canadian geese and things like that are here. Oh, yeah. So, no, you don't drink it. You don't drink this water. And as a matter of fact, the locals have said don't drink the tap water either, and which I never do that anyway. I have been drinking bottled water since the first time I ever got a glass of water out of a San Diego, tap sink. And I said, yeah, this is bad, bad, bad water. So I've been drinking bottled water ever since. Oh, RV TV joined. And now I can hear myself on his computer. Chris Blue, you're not a man, are you? Please don't be a man. Because if you're a man, I'm going to boot you off. But I'm going to, hello? And I believe Chris was a man. And we don't have any, I didn't boot him, he booted himself. So I thought that was pretty funny. The reason we don't have men on the RV Women Hangout, it's basically, and I explain this, I think, every week. It's because we used to do this hangout over on YouTube, okay, and then YouTube got a bit. I don't know. I think they actually thought we knew something. We don't know anything. I mean, I don't know anything about going online and stuff. I mean, as far as I'm concerned, you should just be able to say, click the button that says you want to go live, on YouTube. But they made it more complicated, and I still haven't figured it out. Even I've looked twice to see if I could figure it out, but I can't. But they made it complicated. But when we were doing the hangouts over there, men would come on, and we went to other channels where men were on. They're, having hangouts and whatnot. And the quality of the conversation actually was pretty close to pond scum. And so, since not really interested in swimming in pond scum, when I started this, I think I've been doing this for a year and a half. I don't even know. But it's probably pretty close, at least a year. Okay, let's just go with a year. I have found that this works out really well, and women are, of course, invited to join the panel and add whatever they wish to add. Men, you can certainly shoot us some questions regarding RVing. And I keep saying we because Nana's Joy is usually on here, but I have a feeling that she's been sick, and also she's getting ready to head back north. She has been in Florida for the winter, and they may be heading back north as we speak, maybe trying to slip in between all the thunderstorms that they're going to have to go through in order to get back north where they live for the rest of the time when they're out in Florida boating and, being tan. Anybody have any questions? Any questions? Anybody? Okay. I have, in the last few days, last week, I have purchased a few things off Amazon, and at some point I'm going to make it possible for you guys, or the viewers on YouTube, to be able to go over and see what I buy, because I buy stuff and I forget how much I pay for it. And I get a lot of viewers who say, where'd you get that? And how much did that cost? And I have to say, oh, I got it on Amazon. I don't know. What's it called? I don't know. But anyway, I got one of those screened rooms, not for the awning, but just one that sits by itself, because there are mosquitoes. And they're only going to get worse because it's only going to get warmer here. Let's see. Frida is there any danger the river will overflow? Of course there is. Well, thanks for stopping by, RV Roaming. Thanks. We'll, try to have a good session and see where it goes. But I worry about you. Don't worry about me. I'll tell you, in preparation for that scenario, I do have, of course, one of those radios that's hooked up to the weather. No, it's a NOAA, NOAA radio. And so in the event that, there is some kind of flash flood situation, they go through all the counties and tell everybody what's going on. And of course, the alert will go off and tell me, something, clear out or whatever. And then the other thing, and I've always done this, is I'm always prepared to get out. All the vehicles are facing the direction of out. So there's no, getting in and, trying to back up and whatever in order to get out. It's literally get in, start the engine, push on the gas pedal, and zoom forward and out. And that's really what you have to do as an RVer, really no matter where you are, is figure out in an emergency how you're getting out. And, as far as the Suzuki goes, I will, depending on the situation, I can only take out one vehicle in the event of a flash flood. I'll head out with the RV and leave the Suzuki to whatever happens. And it's insured. So, that's kind of the way I look at it. Obviously, if I have time, I'm going to hook up the Suzuki and take it with me. But, am I worried about it? No. Am I worried about any of this? No. And, this is Nana's Joy. Oh. Okay, and this and this. Hello? Hello? Hi. You're on the wrong thing. You're supposed to be on the computer, not on the phone. Oh, you're kidding. Okay. Wait a minute. But I'm talking. People are answering. Can you guys see me? Nobody can see me. Yes, I'm getting yes. RVer TV is here. He can see me. I'm on. I think it's... And yet I got 14 people and 11 people watching. Ouch. Was that me? But it took me forever to get on, is what somebody said. But I've got Nana's Joy, obviously, on the phone. She co-hosts with me. She is saying that she is on the Blab site. However, I'm not there. Oh, show caller. Who's this? Okay, let me look. Martin's Lamp. Martin, I hope you're not a guy. You can't do audio only because I'll kick you. Okay, we'll see who's Martin. Martin.
Yo, hey.
Yo.
What are you doing?
Okay, well, it's women only up here. So it was nice of you to drop by. Send me your questions. Bye. Anyway, are you still there? But you cannot hear me or see me. Are you on the 24th? Are you on April 24th? And you've clicked on that and it doesn't let you in. Oh my God. And yet I have all these people who are seeing me. It says live. Somebody says it says live. And I just bumped Lamp Martin out of the seat. He came on, so I know the seats are available. It's live and recording. Okay, I got somebody calling in. Send her the link to Bob. Okay. Okay, let's see. Ronnie P is trying to get in. Show callers. Martin, you're out. I will accept Buffy Crumlick. Martin, you're out. There's Buffy Crumlick. Look anywhere.
This is a test.
I got Buffy Crumlick on. I got two. Yeah.
Have kidney problems, clinical a bleeding condition, or take certain medicines.
Yeah, do that.
Can include indigestion.
Okay. Flacco, I hope you're not a man. Martin,
hey, yo, what's good, baby? How you doing,
look,
sexy young thing?
Goodbye.
He's in disguise. Bye.
Hey, fuck you!
And that's why we don't have men on the channel. Right there. Okay, let's see. Let's see. Mind around Blab. I don't know. Are you still there?
I'm still here.
Oh, no. Oh, well, hello. No, I was talking to the phone.
Oh.
Okay. Are you still there? Oh. And yet I don't see that you can see me. Okay, very weird. Okay, I got two people calling in. Show caller, Nana's Joy. There you are. And Martin's left. I'm not working. There you are. Okay, I'm hanging on.
Okay.
Goodbye.
Okay, so
You've got a channel open over there with people sitting there waiting for you.
is live now. Wow.
Right. But you have one under your name, not RV TV.
RV or TV?
That's how it came
Okay.
in. Yep. So
Okay.
I should go back to the other one and tell everybody to go to Blab IM and look under RV TV. You'll see RV Lady Hangout.
Cool.
Okay. I'm going to bow out and go back there.
Okay, I've got like two of them open now. I'm seeing the same thing on each one. Very weird. I had two of them open. I
Let me go back and tell those people because they're sitting there waiting.
Okay. Yeah, tell them to, come over to wherever this is. Okay. And heads up, drop-ins won't show in recordings or audio archives yet, but we're working on it. Okay, well, that's good to know. Not sure. Okay. Now, I'm going back to reading. What's really nice is having Nana's Joy here, and she reads all the stuff on the side, so I don't have to do it. Is this a place for lesbians? If you feel that this is a place for lesbians, then yes. I've been having trouble finding other like-minded women. I've been spending too much time in the Midwest. No, we're not lesbians. We're just RVers. We live or exist or whatever in RVs, recreational vehicles, motorhomes. That's what we do. We're not RVing lesbians, though there probably are RVing lesbians. But no one has declared themselves, it's not as though the criteria for getting on the channel is to declare your sexual preference. So we don't really go there, but I don't care what people's sexual preference is, ever. And that's kind of that. So we don't care one way or the other. Let's see, it says, I'm an RV lesbian and thought I found the jackpot. No. I mean, I'm sure we do have, some women who are lesbians that do this. But again, I don't say, hi, nice to meet you, and what is your sexual preference? So it's just not something that's uppermost in my thought patterns. How much was your RV? Which one? For those of you who do not know, I have a channel over on YouTube. It's called RV Lady, and I make videos and talk about RVing and talk about me, personally RVing. And I have had, where are you? 805 Paradise. I'm on my third RV. So I'm going to go check them. Okay, that'd be great. RVing is a very wonderful life. I have been a full-time RVer for a year now, and I think it was a year on the 21st of April. And so I have been living in my 26-foot Class A RV for a year now. And you can see over on the comments why we don't allow men on the channel, because they refer to things like, isn't an RV a great brothel? Yeah, and that is just not where we are. We're at things like, do you pull a tow vehicle? We are like, how do you fix a drip underneath the sink before it warps your floor and you have to replace that? No, I don't have a Jeep. I have a Suzuki, actually. And it looks like a Jeep, but it's actually smaller and lighter. Let's see. Or do you pull a smaller commuter car? No, it's a Samurai. Yeah, a Samurai Suzuki. And I want to say it's a 1987. I live in a van. Not sure it's the same thing, though. Got a flat tire, ATM, so can't go anywhere. That's very unfortunate. How much does it cost to fuel up? How much is the price of gas? Basically, I have a, I think it's a 50 or 60 gallon tank. So, I go down to a half a tank of gas, and then I go and refill it. So I never drop down. So if it's $3 a gallon, yeah, do I pay $3 a gallon? No. And that's because gas is not $3 a gallon. But generally, I'm spending $60 to $70 for half a tank of gas. How's that? So yeah, same thing, $180 for an entire tank. It is not diesel, it's gasoline. And do you like to drive or do you prefer shotgun? I would love to ride shotgun, but unfortunately, that would leave no one to drive the RV. So no, I RV by myself. I have no, co-pilot or pilot for that matter, except myself. And do you have a partner boyfriend? No. I have friends that are men. Does that count? Which is nice. I really enjoy that. But no, as far as a relationship goes, my RV is only 26 feet long. So I would need like 4,000 feet long in order to, have a companion on board full time. Let's see. Friends that are men equal NSA. I don't know what that is. Friends that are men. I don't know what that means. What state are you in? I am, I'm home ported in California. I am from Southern California. I am currently in Central California in an area known for gold and gold panning. And that's how I'm spending my summer. I've got my RV parked by a wonderful river. And no, it's not in Grass Valley. You're not going to run through them all in Lamps Martin Lamps Martin. I'm not going to be that specific because people like you scare the crap out of me. I don't want you showing up. But I think Gold Country just, spelt it out really, really well. And again, I know there are callers calling in, but you're men, and men aren't on the show. We don't do that. South Dakota, I understand it's very nice there. I haven't gotten there yet. I wintered in. Well, I didn't really winter. I was there for like 2 months in Florida, and I really hated it. That's why I carry a gun. Yes, I think that most RVers, hi Adele, thanks for showing up. I think that most RV women do carry weapons, be they guns or guns and crossbows, baseball bats, really heavy things that hurt really, really bad. And your blab viewership is high right now. No, that's actually pretty normal. We usually get about 45 viewers. I do this. Yes, the trolls are here. I do this every Sunday at 4 o'clock Pacific time and talk about RVing. And there seems to be some kind of screw up with Blab or me or both regarding the viewership. Like, some people aren't here. I love these blabs. Blabs are great, and it's a great tool to share information, especially information that has to do with RVing. Does anybody want to know anything about actually, what's the word I'm looking for? Yeah, RVing. Are any of you RVers? And if you don't know 805 Paradise, what do you have? What engine does your RV have? It's a Chevy engine. It's the, shoot, what is that thing? I'm not good with Chevy engines. I'm much better. I'm more a Ford person. Yeah, it's a 454 Chevy engine. And it is 26 feet long. It has no problems towing my Suzuki that weighs, I'm going to be really generous and say 1,600 pounds. And so it's gone midnight here, and I got to change a tire. Real cold outside. Okay. Okay, not. Oh, you have a diesel. Nice. A 454. The only diesel I ever had was a Mercedes-Benz, and I really, really liked it. I have not found a diesel RV that I like so far, because I don't like the smell of diesel. And yeah, I never enjoyed that, the smell of diesel. Don't like it. And so I don't mind the smell of gasoline, interestingly enough, but I just don't enjoy diesel. So I was actually looking at a diesel before I bought my first RV, but the guy made the mistake of having the windows down on the RV and started the engine, and all the diesel smoke came right into the RV itself. And though it was a very nice RV, I was done. And that's just, not interesting to me. Newbies, vintage Becky M. A Winnebago. I do have a Winnebago. Yeah. I have a Winnebago Brave. SE, if you want to know. And let's see. Yes, I do. Newbie here. How long did it take you from your decision to full-time RV to when you finally took off? Okay. That's a really long story and documented really well over on YouTube. And because I have been making videos longer than I have been actually RVing. I was RVing in my driveway, and that's because at one point, I was working on my RV, and I fell off the roof, and I broke my arm and my shoulder. And so I had to wait until my arm and shoulder healed before I could take off. And because there's a lot of responsibility with this. It's a lot of very physical activity, and so you have to be prepared for that. You have to be prepared physically in order to do this. I mean, just getting in and out is not challenging, but it's different. It's different. Different muscles are working, that sort of thing. Haven't watched all the older videos yet. Well, that's okay. You don't have to watch them. But basically, the first season is me sitting there saying, "Hi, RVers. This is RV Lady. Gee, I wish I was doing something really interesting, like driving away." Cops don't care what's legal. Oh, okay. I don't care what that is. What's that about? Oh, no, I hope you're okay. Yeah, I was fine. But it took me a year for my arm and my shoulder to heal, just so that I could drive and put my arm above my head. Because if you can't do those things, then you can't be an RVer. I wouldn't be able to hook up the Suzuki. I wouldn't have been able to really do anything, and that wasn't something that was interesting to me. You have lots of trolls, and typically no trolls. I typically have no trolls. I don't know what's going on. I don't know how this has worked out. Oh, there's Nana's Joy. Sorry, Nana. Finally, I saw that somebody was trying to call in, and there she is. Hello.
I'm going, hello, we go.
Call in. Let's see. They just point a gun at you. Okay, everybody who's not talking about RVing, goodbye. Okay, please just go away. Show callers. Accept. Okay, Buffy Crumlick, you're on. Hey,
me and Mac.
What a cute dog. Are you sitting in your RV with your cute dog?
Oh, yes, and my king-size bed.
There are king-size beds in RVs.
There are?
Oh, yes, absolutely. Absolutely. It depends on the size of the RV you get. My RV has I think it's a little bigger than a double, but it's not a queen. I do know that. Oh, and I lost Nana's Joy. Actually, the police, just for your information, they are not allowed to search your RV. I see there's some police questions going on. And yeah, they're not. They have to go get a warrant. But they can, sit outside your door until they get the warrant, and then they can come in. Of course, they can search it. Actually, no. And the only thing that they can do is ask you what that smell is. And when you say, I don't smell anything, then they have to go get a warrant. Yeah, it's an RV for all intents and purposes is your home. You own it. It's your home. Okay. Oh my gosh. Spokane. I don't even know what that is. Somebody is bombarding us with. Who the hell knows? I don't even know. And oh yeah, look at that. I can delete that. Oh, how do I get there?
We need to get rid of these people.
I don't know. Oh, let's go here. Let's go to delete. Nope, I didn't delete it. Okay, I have no idea how to delete that. And that's because I don't typically have this problem because I don't get, it's not a message. It's meta tags. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe they're calling all of their non-RVing friends and having them come to this channel. And in which case, yeah, they're not invited either. RVs are used for gun and drug trafficking. You know, you've been watching too many TV shows. Most RVs are not used for that, or we'd all be pulled over when you see us. No, most RVs are not used for that. Most RVs are used for RVing. And you can't believe it because it was an announcement of someone joining. Good God, please no, don't join. It's their screen name. Okay, well, they need to get a life and have it on somebody else's channel. Yeah, one person calling in with a little kitty cat thing. Let's see who this is. Spokane Shampoo. Oh, aren't you the one that just put all that crap on my channel? Yeah, you're out. Oh, maybe you're not. Let's see. Let's find out.
Hi.
Yeah, that is who that
I
is.
just got in here and I don't know who you guys are, but you guys started attacking me as soon as I got in here just because I have a long name.
Okay, you sound like a man to me, and you use words that I don't like, so you're out.
I'm not your enemy.
You're kicked. Okay, so there are, and we lost. Okay, basically, here's the story. We're just a bunch of RVers. We're women and men, but this channel, this blab, if you will, was created before there was a blab so that women could discuss the way women RV, because we do it way differently. We want different things out of RVing, and we don't necessarily have to go the muscle route. Okay, we have to think and then do stuff. And can you give some examples? Sure. Okay, for all the men out there, you know when the car breaks down and you have no idea what's wrong with it? There are many women, and I'm one of them, that can actually tell you what's wrong with your car. Now, can I repair it? It kind of depends on what it is. If it's a transmission, no, I can't. I have to go to a transmission place. In which case, I get on, the phone. I call AAA. They come and tow me to the transmission place of my dreams, and they fix my transmission. Has that actually happened to me? Yes. I have replaced I had a Class C RV, and I replaced the alternator in that Class C because it was no longer charging the batteries. And so that was, just something that I could do. It isn't a muscle thing, it is a finesse thing. And I believe that women, it was a serpentine system, yes. And I think women have the ability to finesse the situation as opposed to muscling the situation. Where does support already in Mark? Yeah. Gender studies. No, I did not major in gender studies. Yeah. Okay, so for all of you who are not interested in RVing, once again, I suggest you go into your bathroom, shut the door, and I don't know, think about life. Why all the hackers now? I don't know. I really don't know. Hi, Kelly. I don't know what's happening. I really have no idea. Yeah, that was pretty much what I was thinking. What is it? G's wins, just wins. Yeah. And I think that's an appropriate name for you too. Okay, since nobody wants to talk about RVing, is everybody excited that tonight is the opener to season 6 of Game of Thrones? I know, I am. Okay, let's see what's going. Kelly. Oh God, Kelly, get in here and save me. Okay, nobody's excited about Game of Thrones. I am. I'm so excited to see what happens to Tyrion. What type of water pump do you prefer, electrical or mechanical? Okay, I am thinking about that question, and I'm going to go with electrical because I don't know what isn't an electric one a mechanical one, and subsequently same. Don't know. I do have an electric water pump in my RV, and can I replace that? You betcha. Piece of cake. And there are a lot of things about RVing that, ooh, I like The Walking Dead 2, Adele. Hello, Kelly.
Hi, can you hear me?
Barely.
Barely? Okay, let me put this on.
Oh, you mean the water in the car? Okay. Okay, now I forgot what the question was regarding the water pump. That's a mechanical water pump. You're right. That is a mechanical water pump. It is hooked to the serpentine. It sits to the right of the alternator in the Class C, which was a Ford that I had before. And the way that I adjusted the serpentine belt was basically when, I put my ratchety tool thing on there and then put a big long pole on it and leaned on it, and voila, I tightened the serpentine belt to perfection. So it's not really, and that's what I'm saying is why we have an RV Women's channel is because I can't trust you to change a glove box on it. Okay, well, that's fine.
Can you hear me?
I have never, can hear you, yes.
Oh, good. Okay. Can you see me? Kind of in the dark here.
Yeah, you are. You're kind of in the dark, but other
Okay.
than that, it's fine.
Let me fix that.
Okay. I don't believe that there are glow plugs on a lawnmower, but if you feel the need to put a glow plug on a lawnmower, then knock yourself out. Please knock yourself out. And do that now. It is, it's important that when you are RVing, that that you know some things about the RV, both the RV portion of it and of course the engine portion of it. This is like exhausting. Oh, thank God I only have 15. 4:45. Oh shit! Wait a minute, is that right? Oh yeah. When do I do this too? I do it for 90 minutes. How long have I been doing this? Because it seems like it's been at least 90 minutes.
Well, with all these hackers and stuff here giving you problems on your live chat, I would just stop reading that for a while. Maybe they'll lose interest and go away.
Dreaming of RVing, you can come on. Nana's Joy, of course you can come on. Okay. Hello. Oh, thank God, ladies, saved me.
Yeah, we're trying.
Yes, thank you. Hello. I don't even know if, we don't have any bigger audience than we have ever had. I hear like pigs in the background somewhere. Or
Yeah. Yeah, someone's giving
what
us
am I hearing?
farm noises, I guess.
Where's that coming from?
One of your hackers. Yeah.
Oh my God.
I hope they use their computer genius for good too, somewhere along the line. I kind of doubt they do though.
It is a really weird noise.
It's pigs. I know
pigs.
I grew up on a farm, kind of.
Yeah, that's okay.
Yeah, this is real interesting and yet not interesting in a good way.
Yeah.
This is, definitely not interesting in a good way. I'm having internet connection problems. Everyone is garbled. Oh. Okay, it's got to be you. I don't have anybody garbled here.
Yeah.
Oh,
Can you hear me?
Yes,
yes,
I hear you.
Fine. But the garbledness is somebody has plugged in some kind of pig background. Pig snorting. And I think pigs are cute and they're pretty smart. And, I'm thinking that this whole thing is probably going to come to an end real quick. And when I say that, I mean now. Is everybody still there?
Yep. I'm here.
Because now we've got somebody doing stuff that I don't know what they're doing.
See, that's
and rather than compromising ourselves further, we say adios. And we'll meet up here next Sunday, and hopefully most of the morons have something better to do next week because they're not doing anything good for us this week. Does that make sense?
Can't we just ignore them? And do our chat?
I'm not really sure.
Yeah.
Okay, the pig noise is gone, which is good. But
can't you block that lamp, Martin?
Oh, I don't know. Lamp, Martin. Let me see. Lamp, you're out. Okay, so Jamal Squatty, you're out. And that's because your name doesn't start with Betsy or Ann or, Julia.
Grandma.
This chat is only for women. And yes, I know that is exercising some kind of, prejudice, but my God, do you guys deserve it? This is just awful.
Yeah,
and this is honestly why we don't have men on our panel, because they ruin stuff.
Yeah.
Who are you guys? Yeah, who are you guys?
Oh, there's Lamp Martin again. Can't you just block that one?
I don't know.
I guess we don't know enough about this.
Because we don't run into this. I have not learned how to. I mean, I can X them out like that. Well, okay, not like that. I need to call Al Sharpton. That would really be great because I'll bet you he knows more than a couple of words, like the words you know. Holy crap. See, I don't know how to do that because I've never had to learn, quite frankly.
Well,
I just wanted to talk to a few new friends. And Zanar Star, that's really great. And if you want to talk about RVing, you may type your questions over in that panel, and we'll talk about RVing, which is motorhoming, which is life on wheels, which is I'm turning my head to my RV. Which is what we talk about. We do not talk about just random crap like what's going on over here in the comment section now. We don't do that. We don't generally run into this. So I'll be talking to Lab this week to find out, how all the security things work. What sort of security system do you use on your RVs? I have a 45. And if that doesn't stop you, I pull out the 40.
TLOC.
Oh my God. Let's see. RV Lady, one click on their name and then click the red triangle to ban them from the room so they can't comment. Oh,
awesome. Okay. Thank you.
I'm seeing triangles. Let's see. Hope you
click on their name and then click the red triangle.
I know, but you know what? I've been doing that, and they don't go away. Okay.
Are you admin, or did you give someone else admin?
No, I'm host. On here, on Blab, it's about the host.
Oh.
On YouTube, it's about admin.
Oh. Okay.
So, okay, I'm going to try that. So, all you guys that do it. Yeah, I am the host. I can do it.
Okay.
So, it looks like, click the X next to Kelly's name. Okay. I'll decide who's X. Okay. So, you don't have
I guess
to tell
would that make me admin then?
If you click the X, yeah, I got it. I got the X thing. Let's stop talking about the X. Yeah, click the plus sign. Yeah. No, I can't get my nails ready. Adele, you're so funny. Okay. So anyway, did anybody have any questions regarding RVing? Why do I like RVing so much, and other people just like to not RV?
I think I've made a decision, RV Lady. Remember, I've been thinking about this for a long time now.
I know.
Yeah, and my husband, who was battling cancer, he passed away. So that journey is over with now.
Right.
And so I think what I want to do is look for the Class B for right now.
Yeah.
And just toolie around until I figure out where I want to really go or do. I've got a lot of friends that, have invited me out to visit. And, of course, we had 14 grandkids. So there's a lot of places I need to go. So
yeah,
I think that's what I'll do. I think I'll just go Class B for right now.
Yeah.
And just me and my dog head out for a little while and just go travel and see,
the other thing
college
that you
friends
can
and
do.
stuff.
Yeah, the other thing that you can do is, get a tent and tent it. Take a car, get a tent, stay in RV parks, tent it.
When I was in my 20s, I homesteaded property, and I'm just over that. I'm over the rough part. So, and I think I would just like to swing it, with the Class B for a while. I've been watching a lot of the Class B YouTube videos, and it just seems so easy. It just seems so much easier than a C or an A for right now.
Well, I don't know. I'll tell you, I've had the
Class
C.
B is a van, right?
Yeah,
I've had the Class C, and I've had the Class A, and I've been in a Class B. I would stick with the Class A.
Yeah.
You know, it feels more like your house, your home. It feels more like a house. Whereas a Class B, you feel like you're in a van.
Yeah, I get that part, but I'm not sure if I want to, because I need to sell my house. I need to do all kinds of stuff. So while I'm working all this, I think I'll just get a B and head out for a little while, come back, deal with stuff, head out for a little while, come back, you know, sell the house. You know, there's a lot that has to happen. As you all know, who's ever lost a spouse, there's a lot that has to happen. So, yeah, and I'm not looking to really move into an A because that's going to be my home now. I'm not to that point yet. I'm not sure.
Right.
I'm not sure if that's what I want to do. I want to go out on the road for a little while and just see what the road feels like now, because I know it's going to be different than when it was when I was in my 20s. And that was really the last time I was out and about. You know, just being free and doing what you want and that kind of thing, you know.
Yeah.
So I know the world has changed a lot. So.
Yeah, and it'll give you an opportunity to, you know, save money on fuel and stuff like that. Not duplicate what you're doing. And, you know, I tent camped for years and years and years. And, you know, it was me, a cooler, dry ice, and, you know, I was fine. I really enjoyed that. I had a 4-wheel drive truck. And so I could go wherever I wanted. And then I would just set up my tent. Or sometimes I'd just sleep in the truck. You know, and I was always real comfortable. Let's see, it says, G Lizzie G7 wants to know if I've had any luck panning. Well, yes, I've been panning, so that's lucky.
I've done that. I've done that too.
Found any gold? Earlier I said between RV or TV and myself, we have found enough gold to, if we don't use glue, put our gold on the head of a straight pin.
Well, that's a start.
So, you know, we're not ready to call Fort Knox just yet. Now, it rained here a couple of days ago, and it's probably going to rain again. I don't know. At least in the mountains, it's going to rain again probably tonight or tomorrow. And that causes the streams, rivers, whatever, to swell. And it also causes the water to be brown because it's bringing all that silt and whatnot, gold, down the river with it. Subsequently, it makes it real difficult to pan. And when I say difficult, I mean I'm not going to do it until the water calms down and I can see, you know, what I'm doing. But as far as, you know, panning itself, it's real interesting. And of course, I've never done this before, so I'm on a learning curve, and I'm enjoying it immensely.
Yeah, it's fun.
Tonight, I'm in Carson City, now snow, tonight and tomorrow. Yeah, it's, the clouds up here are, you know, the big, could be rain, could be snow clouds. But they're passing me, but they're heading towards Nevada, you know, Tahoe, that area up there. So, yeah, it's going to be cool here tonight. It usually gets down into the mid-40s at night, but in the RV, it doesn't matter. It's comfortable, and I mean, I think it's comfortable. So, yeah, you're right over the mountain. I know. Yeah, there's a man behind you dreaming of RVing.
That's my son.
Does he? Oh, okay, that's your son. I was going to say,
yeah.
Is he dreaming of RVing too?
Oh, are you dreaming of RVing? I don't think
so.
Definitely,
that's definitely a negative response. People who are dreaming of RVing are I mean, it would just takes them like nanoseconds to answer that question. And the answer to the question is yes. I want to go. I want to go now. But it takes a great deal of planning.
He likes to travel.
Hmm?
He likes to travel. He wants to go to Florida and the beaches, and he wants to go to China, but he doesn't so much care about RVs.
Right.
I'm the one in the family I'm the one that's crazy. So.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah. And being an RVer isn't crazy. It's actually everybody that I have met out here, you know, when I tell them I'm a full-time RVer, their face lights up, and it doesn't even matter how old or young they are. They're like, oh my God, you do this all the time? Where do you go? How long does it take you to get there? You know, do you have any destination in mind? Are you doing anything in particular, like hitting certain places? And, you know, they just end up, I spoke to a woman at a laundromat, and I thought she was just never going to let me go. And
wow.
And it was all, I mean, and she was probably, I'd say in her late 70s, and her husband used to be an ambassador to Argentina, or he was the ambassador to the United States from Argentina. I think that's what it was, because he was from Argentina, so he was the ambassador to the United States. And she's like, you know, I've tried to get him to do that, but he won't do that. And, you know, her whole body just lit up. And, you know, she wanted to know every place I'd ever been, you know, if I would consider coming by their house. And I just basically looked at her and said, you know, I don't know who you are. And you don't know who I am. So, but she was like, she gave me directions to her house, and, you know, it was just, she was crazy. She just wanted to talk about it. And so basically I said, go to my channel over on YouTube, and, you know, you can see everything that I'm doing, and there's lots of RVers over there, and they're showing you and telling you about everything you could possibly ever want to know about RVing. And you know, go there. And she was like, oh, okay, if I send you a message, will you answer me? And, you know, I'm like, well, I don't really have internet where I am. And, you know, I said, I have people that are still waiting for responses from me about something, you know, and it's, when you don't have internet and you're trying to have a YouTube channel, it's actually, time consuming. It becomes even more so time consuming to go to some place where you have an internet connection and you can respond to everybody's, you know, questions or, you know, comments or whatever. It says, perhaps cheap business cards with your YouTube and blank space for blab invites. Actually, that's interesting you should say that, because I am mentally designing some kind of business card so that I can hand to people and say, you know, you can, this is how you can find me, you know, stuff like that. If you want to learn about RVing, you know, here you go. And I was actually going to go on to, okay, whatever that site is that has, I'll think of it at some point.
Vistaprint.
You know, you see it all the time.
The
yes,
Vistaprint.
Vistaprint. And and order them, you know, because I'm going to be, well, and the other thing about RVing is a lot of times you're not in one place for a great deal of time in order for you to receive mail, if you will. And so since I'm going to be where I am until the third week in July, I've got time to do stuff like that now. You know, I can get Vistaprints to print me up something, and then I have something, because there are a lot of times where I'm, you know, scrambling for a piece of paper to write down RV Lady or, you know, whatever. And the other thing that I need to do, quite honestly, is finish my website that's under construction. And for all of you who want to laugh, go over to my website. It's rvlady.net, and you can laugh. And it's under construction, and he's waiting to, construct. So it's like there's a beautiful guy that's there. It's a gorgeous, tan, muscular, young, and I kind of hate to lose him. I just clicked on the hater and reported them. We should all do that. Oh, clicked on a, okay.
Good idea.
Yeah, it seems like it's kind of calmed down now.
Yeah.
And so.
They lost interest.
Yay.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
well,
I
see Adele in the live chat. She can't call in today. Hi, Adele, wherever you are.
Oh, I don't know. Just because you're over in the comments section doesn't mean you have to be on the panel. Adele used to be on the panel all the time. And then I think she just, tired of it.
Oh, I thought she was
traveling.
I thought she was probably traveling now.
No, her husband's been ill. I do know that.
I'm sorry about
that. So
that.
they have to, and they're doing a lot of changing in their lives.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's Adele. I get lost and confused. But I think all of the, how do you do that? It is better now. How do you do that? I don't know. I didn't really do anything.
Oh, they're talking. She's talking about how to click on the haters and report it, I think.
Oh, okay.
Just do a right click on their name, I think is all it is.
Yeah. If they go, they go. If they don't go, they don't go. It's, like whatever. Okay, somebody's calling in. I'm looking. Show. Nana's Joy. She comes, she goes, she comes, she goes. Yeah. Hey! She comes, she goes, she comes, she goes.
Nana.
Hey, Nana.
How you
Do
doing?
I still have the other one open? Do I still have the other one open wherever it is?
It was open, but I went back there. A lot of them gave up on you, and I just put a message out there to come over here. So,
That is so weird.
I was having internet problems. It was so garbled. I couldn't understand you. And I'm trying to pack and get ready to go, and so I thought, hell with it. And
when you weren't here at 4 o'clock, I knew that's what you were doing, was packing and getting ready to head north, and considering probably the weather in that area. You're probably holding your breath and dodging tornadoes and thunderstorms.
Well, there's going to be some up that way. We're hoping that we can slip through without getting in them, but you just got to go when you got to go. It's going to be like 90 degrees here when we leave.
Yeah. So, what's the humidity?
I think it was 70%.
75?
Oh,
yeah. The humidity, just a nightmare there.
Yeah.
So anyway, we're gonna get on the way early Tuesday morning, and I'll be glad to be home.
Yeah.
Get in my
cool
best.
Off.
Well, I want to get into my Bessie so I can feel like a RVer again.
Yeah, I know. You're gonna put it in your spot for the summer?
Well, yeah, we're gonna put it in, but we're gonna do some things too this year. But yes, we'll put it up at the lake.
Yeah.
At least for the first
Nice.
month and a half, and then we'll see. Like I said, I'd love to come out and see you, but I don't know that that'll happen. But
well, I'll be stationary for like 6 months, so it's a big window.
yeah, I spent the day today trying to find out for sure whether my hip was broken or not, and so now I know it's not broken, so I can go on with my life.
Thank goodness.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, good.
that's a relief.
It says here, it's G Lizzie G7 says, anybody concerned about Zika? Okay, not me, because I'm not pregnant, nor do I plan on getting pregnant, nor is it possible for me to get pregnant.
But there have been cases of people becoming very, not completely paralyzed, but very impaired with being able to walk.
So far,
You mean people who have gotten
Zika?
Wait a minute, they have connected that to the Zika virus for mosquitoes?
Yes, I saw it on the world news.
you get Guillain-Barré
And we know
syndrome.
that's always
Oh yeah, what's it called, Nana? What's it?
Guillain-Barré syndrome.
Yeah.
Oh, well.
Guillain-Barré can make you
Absolutely
unable to
will
walk.
paralyze you. It's not permanent though. You might be several months that way, but usually comes back.
Wow.
That makes me wonder if that was what was wrong with my husband.
I don't know. You can get Guillain-Barré without being connected to Zika too. But Zika so far hasn't had a mosquito bite in the States that I know of that caused it. It's been people traveling that got it and showed up with it here.
I think this is
So
another scare tactic brought on by people who are motivated in some manner to collect money. It's either the pharmaceutical companies who are wanting somebody to pay for something so that they have employment for their people, or
I wouldn't be surprised.
yeah, I mean, my daughter is pregnant now. She is, of course, concerned with the Zika virus. However, you know, she's not rearranging her entire life over it. And as far as I go, you know, as long as I don't fall down in a stream of water, paralyzed and drowned, I don't care. Just don't. I honestly, this is just like every disease that the media has hyped for one reason or another to get us to do something or get the government to do something, and it's all about money. It's all about politics and money. That's all it is. You know, there's always something, and it started with, oh God. I think it started with bulimia and what is the thing where you don't eat? Anorexia, you know, way back when. And then like every year, every 6 months, there's something new that, you know, everybody runs to their doctor and says, oh, I have this. Or, oh, finally a diagnosis from CBS News. And yeah. I'm just not buying it, you know, and all it is that what they're going to do is some pharmaceutical company is going to come out with a vaccine that everybody's going to run and get, and it's to keep the Zika virus from, you know, penetrating their body and causing paralysis or whatever.
No,
you know,
it'll be a spray. It'll be a spray.
Whatever, it doesn't matter. And then all the lawyers, after a year, will do a class action because, you know, Zika virus, the antidote for Zika virus causes brain damage. And so all the lawyers get to make money, and it's just a big friggin' game. And it is I mean, this is really what I think. It's a fear tactic. And it is a way of controlling the populace. All they have to do is say, stay in your house, watch TV, buy products online, or the Zika virus will get you.
Yeah. It's not the mosquito that has it.
No.
It's not
you
here.
know, I know people that got the West Nile virus that became extremely ill, and it changed their whole life. And I wouldn't call that a conspiracy. That was real.
Very much so.
Very much. I feel so sorry for the people that I knew personally that they
what
usually
happened to them?
Well, they go from striving people being able to work and not being able to, and they have neuro mind connection problems with the body. One of the guy I know became paralyzed. He couldn't use his legs anymore.
Right. It's like encephalitis.
Yeah, it's like
Oh, okay.
encephalitis. Yeah.
And mosquitoes have always carried encephalitis. They always have.
Yeah, and it was pretty horrible. This guy was a county worker, so he was outside a lot, doing jobs outside. And
Sure.
West Nile is in
I just feel
different
so
places.
sorry for him.
Different places. West Nile is really prevalent. Different states have it.
Mhm.
I
No,
know
that-
it's in Southern California.
Yeah.
Colorado
I know
is
that
where
most-
I know it from.
Yeah.
Oh,
Mhm.
but I don't know
I'm
anybody
pretty sure it's here.
who's gotten it.
Yeah. Michigan has
but
cases
yeah,
of that
sure.
every year.
I'm not saying that people don't get whatever it is that the media is touting. I'm not saying they don't get it. What I'm saying is that they're making a mountain out of a molehill. And it's like, 3 people get it and let's shut down the entire country. And they've done this with us with swine flu, which without doubt killed thousands of people. They did it with the bird flu, and it's honest to God, it's a fear thing. They want people to stay inside. They did it with Ebola. Yeah, and they want people to stay inside their houses because they can control you there. And then you are fed by the media, once again, controlling you, so that you don't ask any questions and you do what they say. And I honestly feel that this is a manipulative government. Okay, I'll throw the word in, conspiracy. I really think that people who are in their homes are easier to control. And but once again, I'm not saying that these diseases don't exist. Ebola, of course, exists, but did it spread like the wildfire that they said that it was going to spread? No, it spread in areas where they had it anyway. And I'm sure that I won't be compliant. I'm sure that every safety consideration that was made to those people or affordable to that country or whatever. But, I swear to God, governments are setting us up. They're setting us up to sit in front of our TVs and watch cable and buy the products that they tell us to buy off Amazon and watch the shows that they want us to watch on Hulu. And
Which reminds me of that commercial.
oh my God,
Yeah. I agree with that.
I just refuse to live that way. I just refuse. You think about these the riots that they had when the white cops, or I don't care what color the cops were, but black men were being shot left and right. And what did the government say? Go and be in your houses. Go.
Well, if you were there in Ferguson, Missouri, when all that was going on, I wouldn't want to be anywhere else. I would want to be home and not stuck at the grocery store.
I would want to be in Canada or California or whatever states surround Missouri.
Yeah,
I would want to be anywhere but there.
But if that's where you lived, you would want to go home because you would not want to get stuck in the middle of all that. And a lot of that was organized and contrived also. A lot of it was.
Yeah. And a lot of it was for media. A lot of it was, as soon as they pointed the cameras, that's when the reactions were. And it didn't have anything to do with, just they were doing it when the cameras weren't rolling. There might have been a few people that were, whatever that called when you break into buildings and steal from them. What's that called? During like a riot or...
Oh, yeah. The
what is that called?
Looters.
Looting. Thank you. Yeah, I'm sure that a lot of that was perpetuated by looters, wanting to, and looting just escapes me. It's, I saw a movie and it was, okay, I don't remember. Oh, wait a minute, it's coming to me. San Andreas. Okay, so in this movie, the guy crashes his helicopter and he is in a shopping center where he's trying to, escape the looters who have guns. And here are these people. It's the middle of an earthquake. And what are they stealing? Big screen TVs. Yeah. There's no electricity. It's the friggin' end of California, but they're going to go get a 60 or 80 or 120-inch TV. And I'm just like, oh, my God. I can kind of understand running into a grocery and throwing a credit card at whoever is standing behind a cash register and saying, I'm getting stuff. Here's my card. I'm getting diapers for my baby and food for my baby and food for my kids and food for myself, water. But, I just don't get it. And yes, they were paid agitators at all of those, well, at least in Ferguson.
You bet there were. You could see them. You could see them.
Yeah, they were paid.
You watched it for more than 10 minutes. You could see the agitators going through and starting it all up. Very organized, very, I'm sure, paid. They looked malicious to me, or military, I guess is the word I'm trying to say. Militant.
Yeah.
They looked very militant to me, and I would not want to be in the middle of that at all.
Yeah, they don't want to hire some
wimpy.
Yeah, they're not going to hire some wimpy people to stand out there and say, let's go get them. They're going to hire big, muscular-looking whatever to say, yeah, let's go get them. It's ridiculous. The whole thing is ridiculous. The fact that the police have the kind of equipment that one would go to war with is just insane. It's like they have equipment to turn on the people in this country. And it's just crazy. How do you eat healthy on the road? Okay, let's get back to RVing. What a great idea. Basically, I go to really good stores. Right now, farmers markets and those places, sometimes what they're doing is going to the grocery store, buying food, putting it on a wooden surface and saying, this is all natural. There's no regulation on them. And so I'm not really thrilled I'm not thrilled with them. I don't trust them. I think they are upping the price because everybody's upping the price on anything organic, or, it's like I'm paying $6 for free-range, organic, vegetarian fed chicken eggs. I'm paying $6 a dozen. And some people might think that's crazy, but it is going inside my body. So, that's okay with me. But, there's on those farmers markets, and, right now you got to figure that the farmers markets don't have any food because nothing has been grown yet. And yet there's corn on the cob sitting there. It's organic. We just grew this. Yeah, they didn't. And I'm in Southern California. We've got something like 4 growing seasons here. But none of them are at 2,500 feet, which is where I am. So, you really have to, people put tomatoes out there, and they're these big, luscious, gorgeous tomatoes. But where is it tomato season?
Not here.
Tomato season, South America. So that's what I'm saying is they're going to the market.
Greenhouses, maybe.
Yeah, but the greenhouses are all back east. they're not in California. So, and you can pretty much figure that if they're hothouse tomatoes and they're in a rural area and they're selling hothouse tomatoes, you really got to say, why?
And they
Why would
taste
you do
like
that?
crap.
Yeah.
They taste like crap.
Yeah, that too. But I think that, basically what I've been doing as I've been eating and changing my lifestyle and whatnot is reading. Reading the stupid packaging. When the bananas say, fresh from Ecuador. Really? Did they fly them in Federal Express? Because there are no fresh bananas from Ecuador. And here in Anaheim, I have some now. Fresh from Ecuador. In the port cities, especially, San Francisco is a port city, Seattle is a port city, et cetera, and they're bringing in fresh produce from South America or Australia or whatever, south of the equator, because they're ending their growing season now. And we're starting our growing season now. And I get it. But I just don't want to buy it. So I don't get it. But, basically you eat with the seasons.
That's better for your body anyway. That's what the body really understands, is to eat within season.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you eat with the seasons. I stay organic. I have discovered organic ice cream. One store carries organic chocolate ice cream. It is freaking awesome. And it's all organic. And why can't, and it's local. It's a local thing. It's like honey. I've been buying local honey for my tea and stuff like that. And all the honey up here is that, if you're allergic or whatever, you eat honey and then your allergies aren't so bad. And instead of all this processed crap that they put at Vons or at pick your grocery store, Kroger's or IGA or whatever. It is nice. And the grocery store that I'm going to, I asked them if their beef and their, poultry was local. And he said, no, we can't do that. The whoever controls food, the USDA says it has to be trackable. So it's not like they can just go out to some farmer's field, slaughter a cow and bring it in and carve it up for the community, which I think they should be able to do because all the cows up here are in beautiful fields of green grass eating, and they look beautiful instead of what I know they're actually feeding us. But this up here, I'm not a meat eater, but if I was, I would want something from up here. And then the fish, I asked him about the salmon that they had, and he told me that the salmon was from Australia. And then some kid went in the back and said, no, it's from Alaska. Here's the tag. And these people, the grocer people, don't even know what in the hell they're talking about. So, and basically I've always been told that you don't eat fish that you're not getting out of the freezer. And that's because when, they're fishing for salmon or whatever, the professional fishing people, they immediately put it in a freezer and freeze it. So this stuff that you get at the grocery store, this fish that's all thawed out, it's thawed out. It was frozen when it arrived, and now they've thawed it out. So, do you really want that? I know I don't. But anyway, pinworms, yeah, scary. Scary. There's a lot of scary stuff about food. So it's basically seasonal eating, and like when my daughter, when she wants ice cream, she makes her own ice cream. So it's all organic. But she doesn't really
get a Vitamix.
She doesn't like dairy. Yeah,
just get a Vitamix.
But anyway, it's 5:30, so it's time for us to say adios until next Sunday. Please, trolls, don't come next Sunday. We don't really enjoy that. That makes me not want to do this. But for everybody else, please come back next Sunday at 4 o'clock Pacific time. And in the interim, you can see us over on YouTube, where right now I'm posting videos about, panning for gold and, living in my RV, same old stuff, but different day. I want to thank everybody for coming today. And
Nice seeing you.
it was good seeing all of you. Thank you so much for being on the panel. Nana's Joy, we'll see you in Michigan.
Yes,
next
absolutely.
Nana,
Yeah.
Nana's Joy, you're going to want to watch the Weather Channel. There's storms coming through, so.
I know there is.
That
I
on.
think about the time we get up towards Indiana, it's going to be there.
Yeah, it looks
really
like it's
careful.
going all across. Be careful.
Yep.
Okay, bye, everybody.
Okay.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Au revoir.
Au revoir.
Doggone. Oh, there.